Hello guys, this is Cosmic Drifter. Welcome to my scales, and I'm doing one last video about describing how powerful Saitama is from One Punch Man anime series, and here I am. This is the last explanation I'm doing, and don't expect me to do this again and again. So for everyone, I'm going to explain this for the last time, and I want to make sure that there's no need to explain this again and again. And sorry for the inferences, I have some technical issues as well. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, so look, again I explained this in 3 videos that Saitama didn't just transcend some basic subatomic manipulation over their pinpoint in the space-time coordinate. Okay, subatomic manipulation, if you explain, it's like breathing. Humans breathing. Okay, humans technically can breathe. They can breathe. They can control the breathing. Like you can control it. So it's the same way you need to imagine that the subatomic manipulation is just like you are trying to control your breath. Okay. But what Saitama actually did is like not needing to breathe at all to stay alive. So do you understand? Consider him as a human who does not need breathing to stay alive. That is what he is. He does not need subatoms or information. The information of existence that subatoms provide to the ontological reality, or the springs of reality, that is, which he defied. You don't need them. Okay? Oh, so when you look at the manga, and yeah, I have explained it a lot of time. Murata, he knows, he cooks, he knows what he's doing. And his artworks, if you take a look at, they are just mesmerizing. And not only that, if you look at the insane details, you will see how many times he have drawn Saitama, and not just him, many characters and situations that's completely stagnant and lightly moving and moving exaggeratedly. Like he uses kanji and lines slightly to show a slight movement. Okay, and even if he didn't use a line, he still used kanji as well. And even the animation, except the season 3, season 2 animation or season 1 animation, there are many frames where Saitama is stagnant, where you can see, if you compare it to how he drawn in the manga, you can see some scenes where he never moved. It's just completely still, as with no kanji or lines drawn in the manga. So we can say that Murata completely drawing Garu's subatomic particles as completely moving to an opposite dimension. And when you look at Saitama's subatomic particle, you see none of that. So we can say this is not an author trying to look it like, let me say, he's not trying to make it look cool. Okay, he's not trying to make it look like sophisticated. No, he's not. So I hope you understand that the manga panel you see actually is very much stagnant, very much, like completely no motion or any type of utility of energy or information. So that's why he became an independent constant who functions, because he wills it totally disconnected from his physical foundation. So this creates a logical paradox, which I explained as well in another video, but let me tell in a summary for everyone. As it shatters law of non-contradiction, not 3 laws, but 3 laws simultaneously, but one law of non-contradiction. Of course, it says that either proposition or negation is true. Both cannot be true, okay, at the same time simultaneously. But yeah, paralogics appreciate that some contradictions are part of reality, and they need to be accepted, and some contradictions they are not. So paralogic, they does not basically resolve every paradox. Some paradox like door is closed and open at the same time, simultaneously, locked and open at the same time. Yeah, that is long. That is a non-contradiction. And sleeping and awake. Okay, totally sleeping and awake is a non-contradiction. Okay, the opposites of something is what contradiction is. So he is entirely static at subatomic level, but moving through space at the same time. Mathematically, you can't map a value that is both fixed and in motion. It leads to an infinite regression, okay, in coordinate geometry and many other mathematical pinpoints and theorems. So it's unlike characters who move in void, where time is just missing, or like concept of space and time lags. Saitama's own internal constitution and foundation, if you talk about, has gone beyond absolute zero. He is not just fast, okay? He has reached a level, he is a systematic independence, where he is no longer just a subject of universe rules, making him a paralogical existence. A zero point has happened in this exact same transcendence. Since his particle seized all movement, like every action he took is now mathematically and physically untraceable. If it is a mathematical impossibility, it is a logical impossibility. And this is not my personal opinion. Some metaphysical impossibilities are still governed under logic and mathematics, but mathematical impossibilities like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is a logical necessity, and it is true across every world. So when you became untraceable by mathematics, you naturally can be recognized under logic as well, some certain law of logic or logical thought laws. And you cannot, so yeah, that's it. And you cannot manipulate the atoms or the fate of someone whose foundational base is effectively nothing, as quantum particles stop being quantum particles if they ever stop being what they are. Like spinning of quantum particles, their movement is just like a human's breathing. It is a necessity for a human to stay alive. Okay? The heartbeat, or let me say more like a heartbeat. Okay? It is more like a heartbeat. That's how it is. So that is why he is the ultimate glitch that I mention ever again and again. Like he deleted his own software. That is the one of the analogy I can provide for it. One analogy, and he is unreachable by anyone. So he is unreachable by causality and many other respective concepts. And then you have the merger. We have seen that. It is also seen through the manga panels as well as Genos, who explained it very well. The merger, which breaks law of identity. Some people try to use and appeal to possibility, literally saying Garu just got lucky and sent Saitama to an identical universe in the manifold interpretation. As why manifold interpretation is true and why Hilbertspace, I have all explained this detail in a previous 1 hour video. You guys have to check that out, okay? So don't just ask me that how that is truth, why Geno's hypothesis is truth. I'm not going to explain all this. This is the last wrap up, like I said. So So he did not just luckily send Saitama to any universe, but Garu did that on purpose. He needed a world that is 100% ontologically identical, so the past actually be changed, and the past shall be very much identical. Okay, he needed that. It is a necessity for him. So otherwise, if Saitama is sent to some other past where Garu is not a cosmic evil, or none of the things have ever happened, or anything in between, it just it's just a waste. It's completely useless. So even in MWI, minimal interpretation, two identical things can't exist in the same world. In the same world, that is possible. So it is a mathematical value like 2 1 digit. Okay, one digit, one number ontologically. There can be 2 1 or 2a or 2b. That is not possible in in the same world. Like everything has its own ontological value. And this is something Saitama broke. Let me explain. And before that, I'm gonna say here is what people get confused. Like they bring Flash or Flashpoint series. Some people just bring Flash or a comic scenario of merging, and then argue that then this X character or this X entity just broke the law of identity as well because it merged with another. No, that's not how it is. Like in case of Flashpoint, Barry merging with his past self does not break law of logic like you think, or any law of identity. Future Barry has different memories, older selves, and different history. Okay, the two are different versions of the same guy. So the merger is just a temporal event. Okay, that is not, because there can be ontologically two Flash. It's like saying there is 2 1. Otherwise, the Flashpoint has to explicitly state that there is the Flash, the two merging of the two Flash is ontological. But none of that have been ever stated here. So it's just like a temporal event, like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, the merge. That's why the universe often collapses or rewrites itself to fix the inconsistency. Barry is still a part of the system. If Barry literally broke the law of identity, then bro, he cooks 95 or like 98% of fiction. And this is not a joke. Breaking law of identity, you just is like one of the SCP anomalies. This is not even a joke. True logical transcendent, they are nearly tier zero actually. If you add more context like indescribable, incorporeal, immutability, indivisibility, then that's a tier zero. Okay, this is not a joke. If Flashy, it's not Flash. If its Flash was a law of identity, breaking the law of identity, then damn, like I said, he solos most of fiction character, but he doesn't. So you need to understand that the Barry's merge is still a temporal cause of event, okay? And Saitama's is completely a different tier of impossibility. Like he merged with a counterpart that was mathematically indistinguishable from a parallel branch of identical MWI. While Barry's merger is just a timeline change, Saitama is a logical impossibility. Not impossibility anymore, but logical transcendent, where 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. He forced two identical entities of himself to become one, him and the other ontological him. And the universe didn't just turn him into a salt or like connect him to like how God did dirty to Garu. No, that never happened. So think about it. If Flash were a logical impossibility, he still would not get cooked by Black Flash or any other DC characters, okay? You need to understand that. and Saitama is the one who violates the identity of indiscernible, and keeps walking. Oh, so yeah, he doesn't just break logic. He just defy them. He doesn't need them. He's a transcendent. Okay, that is the whole point. This is where the whole causal impending argument fails against Saitama. The fact that the physical core remained as a two separate pieces provides the world was identical, okay? But it otherwise they must also merge, because even if 99 or any different, even if particles are similar, okay, they are not ontologically. If they are similar, then they are not ontologically different. If they are similar, they are not ontologically not different, not same. I mean, let me explain. Sorry, I'm doing all this in one lap. I'm not breaking all this into part. So yeah, sometimes I just make a mistake. So let me explain about the core scenario. The core is not completely identical. Even if it looks identical, its subatomic data are still just similar to the to other one. That is how it is. Otherwise, they could still merge actually. That is the whole point here. So yeah, the core, it was not similar. It was not similar objects. Okay, their atoms were different and they're not ontologically same at the same time. That is why they did not actually merge. Even if they could have been merged, but they did not merge. So that proves, if the core was actually also just similar to the other one, then they could have just merged. Merging the similar particles is not just something which defy mathematics. Even in some physics, it is possible to merge subatomic particles that are non-identical. This was identical world completely from the past. Even with the events and the core, that is the only proof we have, and we can rely on that as well as. So the core was also identical, so they did not merge. Meanwhile, Saitama did. So yeah, he is an independent source of existence. He didn't just re-enter the timeline. He overrode the logic of the merger itself. So at the end of the video, I mean, this is what it is. Saitama is not just a strong guy or a galaxy buster or a solar system fodder like you imagine. Our Gautama is still a logical transcendent, guys. I mean, every open fans, yeah, you can share this video to some haters. I have the links for the proofs and everything in the description, and as well as the scans. So even if any haters say that Saitama is like a galaxy or like a 6D or 5D, I mean, they need to change the mind. I mean, they still can have their own opinion, I don't care, but I'm actually doing an actual truth of how deep the scale were and how far he scales, and that's it. We underestimated Saitama. So yeah, good night, and this is Cosmic Drifter signing off.